You only need a handful of apps for your Japan trip. Let's start with Japan Travel by Navitime because, well, it's a Swiss Army knife of an app. First, it's a route planner. Sure, Google Maps is great for when you're on the ground and you want directions right there, right now, but Japan Travel is what to use when you're back at your hotel planning for that train journey tomorrow morning. It's so much easier to use this app for searching routes and times. Remember that Japan has different timetables for weekdays and weekends, so you always want to set the correct day when you search so you can avoid those whoopsies. And if you're using a rail pass, Japan Travel is a must-have. Select your pass in the settings and it's going to tell you the routes that are covered for free. Google Maps cannot do this. It's got live Shinkansen timetables, status information for airports and bullet trains, line maps for visual planners, and even dials for tweaking directions for slow walkers who need extra transfer time. Japan Travel deletes your need for two other apps. First, it warns you about incoming earthquakes. Turn it on in the settings and you'll get notified. And trust me, you'll want to know when one's coming. Second, Android users and people with physical IC cards, if you want to check your balance, then there's a built-in reader function right there in the app. But there's one last Uber feature, and that's called Check and Ride. You've searched the train times, you're on the platform, but you're confused. Is the train in front of you the one you should catch? Well, take a photo of the train information board and the app tells you the answer. It's like having an expert hold your hand. And speaking of having someone help you out with your Japan trip, if you're finding this video useful, go drop me a thumbs up. And while you're down there, why not sign up for my insider email? I'll send you practical Japan travel tips, hacks and updates straight to your inbox. The link's in the pinned comment. So Japan Travel is like 3 or 4 apps in one, but it still can't beat Google Maps for getting directions in the city and for short hops. Google Maps is insanely good at making navigating railways and subways super simple. If you're transferring to another train or leaving the station and you want to do it as quickly as possible, it tells you which car to board, so you arrive right next to the escalators or the stairs. You've just got to bear in mind though that this car is often busier than the others because the locals like to ride these cars too. They know what they're doing. Also, when you want to get out of a station, it can be confusing because there are lots of numbers or named exits. The great thing is with Google Maps, it tells you which one to head for, which means you only need to follow the signs in the station. While I'm on the subject of time saving, let's talk hotels. If you're like me, you book a bunch of places and with all the emails they send you, it's really hard to keep track of where you're staying and when. I recommend installing the app for the reservation engine that you're using, whether that's booking.com, Agoda, or something else. This way you get a handy schedule of where you're staying, but you also get the super useful feature of sending the location of the hotel to Google Maps, and then it sorts out the directions for you. Now, let's face it, about 75% of Japan visitors come here in the spring because they're fixated on seeing the cherry blossoms. And if that's you, I can't help you with that, but I can help you find the best blossoms. Instead of relying on the forecast and luck, you can get the app Sakura Navi and just check which locations have blossoms ready and waiting and which don't. This means you save time and your sanity, although trigger warning, the English version is a paid app. The Japanese version is free though, and it isn't that difficult to use, even if you can't read Japanese. Okay, let's talk transport, and that means the bullet train known as the Shinkansen. For all of the Shinkansen south of Tokyo, you can use X or EX or Smart X or Smart EX. I'm not really sure how you pronounce this, but I do know one thing for sure, it isn't the new name for Twitter. Anyway, instead of going to the ticket office or machine, this app lets you book tickets right there on your phone. Now you've got three main benefits with this. First, you don't need to visit a station and talk to other humans. Next, you can easily change dates or times on your tickets. And last, you can also connect your IC card with this ticket and use your IC card to go through the ticket gates. Alternatively, you can get a QR code or pick up paper tickets if you want. My favourite thing about using this app, which we don't know how to pronounce, is the seat map. So I can choose exactly where I want to sit when I buy a ticket. Although, unfortunately, it can't predict where idiots eating stinky Mackie D's are going to be sitting, so you can avoid them. Smart EX is great if you've got luggage that you don't fancy lifting onto the overhead shelf, because you're a lightweight who doesn't know what a gym looks like. The seating plan also lets you choose the special seats that give you access to the luggage areas that are much easier to use. Now, beyond learning the basics of Japanese, you'll probably want to use translation apps quite a lot during a trip. Google Translate is good at translating text into and from Japanese, although its results can be a bit oversimplistic and unhelpful. Meanings in Japanese depend a lot on context, so it helps if you add more detail into the thing that you want to translate. Its killer feature, though, is deciphering written Japanese using your phone's camera. Just point it at any Japanese text and it auto-magically replaces it with English. So if you're stumped by Japanese menus, aircon or TV remotes, or really just any Japanese text, just point your phone at it and you're done. Next, let me ask you a question. Do you like Friends? If you've answered no, then you can skip ahead to the next chapter. But everyone else, here's a newsflash. You might meet someone interesting in Japan, and if you suggest staying in touch with WhatsApp, they're likely going to answer, "What's that?" That's because Line rules the roost here in Japan. I'm going to admit to you that the interface is an absolute car crash, and that's being kind. But unfortunately, everybody uses Line in Japan. The other reason why you should get this app is because if you join a guided tour or an activity session, the staff often take photos or videos of you as a bonus bit of service, and they're going to want to send these to you later. And guess which app they're going to use? Right, I've only got one more recommendation for you, and this one is entirely optional. When you're out of cash in Japan, I guarantee the first thing you think about is, where's the ATM? And not, how much is the ATM going to fleece me in fees? Aside from what your bank back home charges, Japanese ATMs also charge their own withdrawal fees. Luckily, if you know which ones to use, you can pay lower fees or avoid paying them entirely. Just use ATM Fee Saver and it will give you all the details based on the money machines around your location. I hope you find these apps super useful on your trip. And if you found this video helpful, I think you're going to love this one up here, because I put all of my best Japan travel advice from 15 years of living and traveling here right into that in one place. So go fill some more gaps in your knowledge and thank me later. All right, see ya.